Wow, that's such a cool idea to build. Why didn't I figure it out myself? Let's learn how to build a Bugatti.
Round 1.
I am building my Bugatti from nether brick blocks because I think the dark red color looks cool and kind of rich, like an expensive car, but also like something from the nether. I use normal nether bricks, red ones, stairs, slabs, and full blocks, and I start by throwing down the main shape of the car. I try to keep it low because fast cars are usually low to the ground, and that helps them look quick even when they stand still. A low body also feels more stable because the weight looks closer to the road. I do not really know all the fancy Bugatti lines, so I mostly guess the front, the middle, and the back. I put blocks where I think a sports car should be wide, and I pull in some places where I think it should be narrow. The stairs and slabs help me a little because a car should not be only square. They can fake curves and softer edges. It is not the cleanest start, but I do get something that at least looks like a dark red supercar shape on the ground. I keep going with the body and try to connect the front and back into one smooth car. It is kind of hard because Bugatti has a very special shape, and I am using heavy dark blocks, so the car can look chunky if I am not careful. I place more nether brick stairs and slabs to lower some edges and make the sideline look less flat. That is useful because real sports cars are built to move air around them, and smooth shapes help with that. If a car is too boxy, it feels slow and awkward. I also try to keep the roof part low because a race or luxury speed car should look like it cuts through the wind. I am not fully sure if people will look at this and say Bugatti right away. It might look like some other strange red-black car from the nether, but I still keep pushing the shape until it has a long nose, a middle cabin area, and a back section that feels a little sporty instead of just being a plain brick wagon. At the end, I stop trying to fix the big shape and start adding little details, because details can help a messy build look better. On the front, I place black stairs, and they work nicely like a grill or dark openings in the bumper. Dark details on the front help the face of the car stand out, and cars always need a clear front if you want people to understand them fast. On the sides, I add red banners. Banners are thin and soft, so they can fake stripes or stylish side details without making the body too thick. Then on top, I place a few red carpets. Carpets are good when I want tiny changes in height because they add color and shape without a full block. That helps the roof and hood feel less plain. My Bugatti is not very professional, and I know the brand shape is still kind of confusing. But the black front details, the red banners, and the red carpets do make it look more finished, more sporty, and at least a little more like a special car. Phew, it took so much effort. Great, my Bugatti is ready.
Oh, wow!
Joo-hoo! We're going to build a Bugatti today. I love building cars. Mikey has probably already built his Bugatti. Mikey, is that all you've built in that time? Are you sure it's a Bugatti?
JJ, you only know how to offend me. By the way, I tried very hard.
Mikey, your car looks so typical. No originality. I didn't recognize Bugatti at all in her.
Oh, that's it. Stop judging. Maybe then you can show me how to build a Bugatti.
Of course, we ran to the place.
JJ, I'm not sure you're going to make it. But in any case, good luck to you. I'll wait for you at the house.
Thanks. Then I'll start. Round 2. I begin my Bugatti with one of the most important parts of any car, the wheel. I build the first wheel from black concrete, and I make it fairly large because a supercar needs wheels that feel powerful and able to hold a wide, low body. Black concrete is the right choice for a tire because it has a clean dark color and reads immediately as heavy rubber. A wheel should also have enough thickness because tiny wheels can make an expensive fast car look like a toy. I keep the outline broad and round, as much as Minecraft allows. That matters because the eye needs to read the wheel shape quickly, even though blocks are square. A large wheel also helps the car feel planted on the road. Good vehicle design starts from the wheels and the stance, because everything above them depends on where the weight seems to rest. If the wheel looks weak, the whole Bugatti will look weak. So, I spend time making sure the first wheel has a bold silhouette and a solid base for the body that will come later. Once the outer tire is done, I move to the inside of that wheel and add iron bars and pistons on the right side. This is a very useful detailing step. Iron bars are thin, so they can suggest the open spokes of a rim without turning the center into a giant blocky disc. Pistons add mechanical depth because their textured face looks like a wheel hub or brake part. A real high-performance car needs more than a dark tire. The wheel center should look engineered, layered, and precise. That is why I do not leave the middle empty or flat. Good wheel design is about contrast. The dark outside reads as tire, and the lighter metal-like inside reads as machinery. Using thin and technical blocks in the center also helps the wheel feel more expensive. A Bugatti is not a farm truck. It should have refined mechanical details. Even if the viewer does not know exactly what each block represents, the combination of shape and texture tells them this is a serious performance wheel built for speed and control. After solving the first wheel, I start the front bumper using stone blocks, stone slabs, and stone stairs. Stone is a smart material for the lower front structure because it looks strong and can act like the hidden underbody support under the more colorful outer shell. I use full blocks where the bumper needs mass, slabs where it needs to stay thin, and stairs where I want smoother changes in angle. This is important because the nose of a Bugatti should not look like a square wall. A sports car front needs a lower lip, a slight curve, and a shape that feels aerodynamic. By mixing the three stone forms, I can suggest that the front is guiding air rather than fighting it. I keep the bumper low and wide so the car immediately feels fast. A wide, low nose also gives the build a confident face. In real design, the front bumper helps manage airflow and gives the car identity. Here, it does the same job visually, turning the build from a wheel display into the beginning of a real supercar. Now, I move to the left side and build the second front wheel with the same logic as the first. Matching front wheels are essential because symmetry is one of the strongest signals that a vehicle is engineered correctly. I use black concrete again for the tire, making sure the height and width match the other side, and then I add iron bars and pistons inside it as well. Repeating the same inner details is important because a luxury sports car should feel precise from both sides. If one wheel had more detail than the other, the whole Bugatti would seem unfinished or damaged. I also pay close attention to spacing. The distance between the wheels controls the stance of the front axle, and that stance affects whether the car feels stable. A supercar wants a broad front track because a wider base feels better at high speeds and during hard turns. Even in Minecraft, those visual rules still work. A balanced pair of front wheels gives me a strong mechanical foundation and makes the car look more ready to carry an aggressive, low body above them. With both front wheels in place, I continue the front center section of the car. I extend the bumper and nose shape using more stone blocks, stone slabs, and stone stairs. Then I fill the intersections behind some of those front parts with black concrete. That black inner layer is very useful because it creates depth. A supercar front usually has dark air intakes, shadows, and recessed technical spaces. If I made the entire front only from one pale material, it would look flat and toy-like. By putting black inside the front structure, I create contrast that suggests vents and openings for air. Air management matters a lot on a fast car. Even if I am not building a perfect real engine system, the visual idea of air going into the front helps the Bugatti feel more believable. The front now has a layered face, strong stone understructure on the outside, darker recessed areas inside, and enough horizontal width to feel stable. The nose is starting to look serious, and that helps set the tone for the whole build. After the lower front structure feels strong, I begin the main body color with red concrete. This becomes the skin of the Bugatti. Red concrete is a great choice because it is smooth, bold, and very easy to read from far away. A supercar should have a body color that feels rich and dramatic. And red always works for that. I use the red to start shaping the bumper shell over the stone structure, letting the stone act like the mechanical base and the red act like the finished bodywork. This separation is useful in design. Cars are often easier to understand when the lower technical parts and the upper painted parts have slightly different materials or tones. I keep the front body low and flowing because a Bugatti needs a front that feels expensive and aerodynamic, not bulky. The red also helps the car stand out from the dark wheels and the pale stone nose details. As soon as the red bodywork appears, the build stops looking like a machine skeleton and begins to look like a true luxury hypercar. At the very front, I build the headlights using end-stone bricks and red terracotta slabs. This combination may sound unusual, but it works very well. End-stone bricks have a pale, creamy tone that can act like a modern headlight housing, and red terracotta slabs help create thin, angled trim around them. Headlights are extremely important on a sports car because they give the front its expression. They tell the viewer where the car is looking, in a way. Thin, sharp lights make a car feel more aggressive and more modern. I avoid huge square lamps because a Bugatti needs a refined and technical face. The slab shape is especially useful here because it keeps the lights from becoming too thick. Thin lighting details help the whole bumper feel more advanced. I place them carefully so they sit naturally inside the front design instead of looking glued on. Good headlights should fit the lines of the nose. Once they are in place, the car immediately gains more identity and starts to look expensive and fast. From there, I continue onto the hood using red concrete. The hood is one of the biggest surfaces on the whole car, so it needs to feel smooth, wide, and intentional. A Bugatti hood should carry the eye from the front bumper toward the windshield in one confident motion. To avoid making the hood too flat, I add a few oak trapdoors on top. Trapdoors are a great detailing block for vehicles because they are thin and can suggest vents, panel lines, or service covers without raising the surface too much. On a supercar, little details like vents and seams help the body feel engineered rather than molded from one giant piece of plastic. I also begin the glass area using coal slabs. Coal slabs are very useful for tinted windows because they are dark, thin, and sleek. A real Bugatti often has dark glass that blends smoothly into the body. Starting with slabs helps me keep the windshield profile low and elegant. Instead of building a tall, chunky window that would ruin the aerodynamic feeling. I now finish the outline of the windshield using red concrete around the edges and coal slabs for the glass itself. This is one of the most important transitions on the car because the windshield sits between the hood and the roof. If this slope is too steep, the car will look like a van. If it is too flat, it can become unreadable. Coal slabs are ideal here because they let me create a smooth low angle without a big jump in height. Their dark color also looks like heavily tinted performance glass. The red concrete framing around the windshield keeps the glass integrated into the body, almost like the car was carved around it. This is good design practice for vehicles. Window areas should feel connected to the body lines, not separated from them. The windshield now gives the Bugatti a sleek face and helps guide the eye upward. That smooth front-to-top transition is a huge part of what makes high-end sports cars feel advanced, fast, and intentionally shaped by aerodynamics. Next, I begin the right side of the car. I use stone blocks along the lower edge as the base, and then red concrete above for the main side bodywork. This is a very useful layer system. The lower stone acts like the underbody and structural sill, while the red becomes the elegant outer shell. As I build upward, I avoid making the side perfectly flat. Instead, I create a gentle curve and small changes in depth. That is important because the side of a Bugatti should feel sculpted, not like a straight wall on wheels. Curved side surfaces catch light differently and make the car feel more aerodynamic. They also help guide air around the body at speed. In Minecraft, full curves are impossible, so I fake them by stepping the blocks carefully. The result is not a real curve, but it reads like one from a distance. This is one of the key lessons in block vehicle building. Good curvature often comes from subtle shifts. not giant, obvious bends. Once the main right side body line is formed, I build the rear wheel on that side using the same method as the front wheel. I use black concrete for the tire and again rely on the strong dark outline to keep the shape readable. Matching the rear wheel style with the front wheel is very important because all 4 wheels need to feel like they belong to the same car. The rear wheel placement also affects the wheelbase and the stance. A Bugatti should feel long enough to be stable at speed, but compact enough to stay aggressive and athletic. If the rear wheel sits too far back, the tail looks stretched and clumsy. If it is too close to the front, the car loses its premium hypercar proportion. I keep enough body mass around the wheel arch, so the rear side feels muscular. Sports cars often have stronger-looking rear sections because that is where power, grip, and drama live. This rear wheel helps establish that character and makes the right side feel mechanically complete. With the right rear wheel finished, I continue and close more of the right side body using red concrete. I also add the side window area using coal blocks and coal slabs. I use full coal blocks where I need stronger dark shapes and slabs where the glass should slope or taper more gently. This combination is excellent for side windows because a supercar cabin usually uses dark glass that flows smoothly into the roof and rear window. The side glass should look narrow and sleek, not huge, like a bus window. A high-performance car wants a compact cabin that feels wrapped by the body. The dark glass also contrasts very nicely with the red shell, giving the side more sophistication. I keep the stone lower edge visible enough to remind the viewer of the structural base. At this stage, the right side starts to look very complete. It has wheel arches, tinted glass, lower support, and a sculpted red shell. That balance between luxury and mechanical logic is what helps a Bugatti feel special instead of just expensive looking. Now, I move to the top of the car and build the roof using red concrete and black concrete. I keep the roof low because a Bugatti should have a sleek profile, and a tall roof would destroy that instantly. Red concrete continues the body shell upward, while black concrete helps define darker roof sections and transitions into the glass. This two-tone treatment is useful because many modern supercars use contrasting roof colors to emphasize the cabin shape and keep the body from looking too tall. A black roof can visually shrink the upper section and make the whole car feel lower and wider. That is a very smart visual trick in automotive design. I make sure the roofline flows cleanly from the windshield and prepares for the rear glass that will come later. The top of a hypercar should feel like one long moving line, not 3 disconnected panels. By carefully linking the red body and black roof sections, I create a smoother silhouette and keep the car feeling fast from front to back. After the roof is in place, I begin the left side using exactly the same materials and the same sequence of actions as the right. This repetition is essential. A car relies on symmetry more than almost any other object. I start with the lower stone base, then build the red body above it, keeping the same slight curve so the side feels sculpted and not flat. I add the window area again using coal blocks and coal slabs, making sure the dark glass matches the height and length of the other side. The left rear wheel is built with the same technique too, so the visual balance stays perfect. Mirroring a vehicle side is not just copying for speed. It is part of making the design feel engineered and intentional. If one side had a different curve or a different window shape, the entire Bugatti would look broken. By recreating the right side carefully on the left, I preserve the premium feel of the car. Precision matters a lot when the subject is a famous luxury performance machine. With both sides complete, I move to the rear glass. I build it from coal blocks and coal slabs, using the slabs to create a careful slope from the roof down toward the trunk. This sloped rear glass is a very important part of the Bugatti silhouette. The back of a supercar should taper smoothly, and a stepped but controlled glass slope helps achieve that in Minecraft. Coal remains the right material because it gives me that dark tinted appearance, like performance glass hiding the interior. The slope also helps the whole car feel aerodynamic. Air should seem able to flow from the roof over the rear section instead of hitting a flat wall. When building vehicles, these transitions often matter more than the flat surfaces. A perfect sidewall cannot save a bad roof-to-rear connection. By taking time on the rear glass angle, I make the back feel elegant and expensive. The car now has a continuous flow from front windshield to roof to rear window, which is one of the strongest visual signs of a refined supercar. Next, I build the trunk from red concrete and terracotta, using terracotta in places where colors meet or where I want softer transition zones. This is a subtle but useful technique. Terracotta often has a more muted tone than concrete, so it can act like a bridge between stronger surfaces. On the trunk, that helps where the rear body shifts shape and prepares for the spoiler. The trunk of a Bugatti should not be huge or boxy. It should feel compact, smooth, and tightly integrated into the rear. Then, I add the spoiler using holystone brick in full blocks, slabs, and stairs. Holystone brick is a nice choice because it looks light, technical, and a little more refined than rough stone. I build the spoiler in a modern style, not an old racing wing. That means it stays clean, controlled, and sculpted instead of huge and clumsy. A spoiler is not only decoration, it suggests downforce, rear stability, and speed. This one gives the Bugatti a sharper rear silhouette and a stronger racing identity. Finally, I complete the rear bumper with red concrete and begin the rear lights using orange concrete, yellow concrete, and yellow chroma blocks. Rear lights need to stand out clearly, and warm colors are perfect for that because they look like illuminated signal units. The orange and yellow together create a bright layered effect instead of one flat strip. This gives the back more realism and makes the car look active. I also add a polished andesite insert at the rear because polished andesite has a neat, industrial look that works well as a performance trim panel. Inside that andesite frame, I place nether blocks and light them. The fire creates a dramatic glowing effect, almost like hot exhaust energy or an aggressive rear diffuser detail. This is a very bold finish, but it fits the idea of a Bugatti as an extreme machine. The rear now has lights, contrast, texture, and a strong central highlight. From big wheels to the lit back insert, the whole car reads as low, fast, expensive, and carefully designed. Great, my Bugatti is ready. It's time for me to show it to the guys.
Wow, JJ, you've got such a beautiful Bugatti. It's just unbelievable. You've paid so much attention to the details that I have no doubt that this is definitely a Bugatti.
Thank you, Mikey. I am very glad that you liked my building. Well, I think it's time for us to finish.
Yes, JJ, you're right.
Subscribe and like. Bye-bye.